I hope this is not just clickbait, bro. But the title of this video is Scientists Finally Found Jesus' Tomb That Was Hidden for Thousands of Years. Let's check this out, guys.
Emperor Constantine ordered the church built in the 4th century. The Roman Emperor Hadrian in the 2nd century built a temple here to the goddess Aphrodite to cover the tomb where Jesus was buried.
I made a film a few years back on an ossuary, a bone box that got a lot of attention. First because they said it's real, part of the inscription is fake, called James, son of Joseph, brother of Jesus.
In a remarkable discovery, scientists may have uncovered what is believed to be the burial site of Jesus Christ in Jerusalem, located within the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. This long-forgotten site was initially identified by Emperor Constantine and his mother in the 4th century after they removed the temple dedicated to Venus to reveal the limestone cave where Jesus was believed to have been rested. This significant revelation has deepened the threads of history, religion, and the pursuit of sacred sites.
It's always the scientists that are busy. They are always they are busy trying to discover or to prove something or just to expose something, bro.
Join us as we delve into the discovery and the significance of Jesus' grave in Christianity. In an amazing turn of events that has amazed people all around the world, researchers have uncovered what they think is the long-hidden burial place of Jesus Christ. After many years of guessing, suggested spots, detailed studies, and non-stop searching, they now possess evidence of where Jesus was buried. When they peered into the burial site, they were astonished to uncover valuable items that provided answers to long-standing questions that have puzzled many people, including scholars, believers, and those just curious. You might be thinking, why are scientists so sure about this? And how did they manage to find such proof? Where exactly is this burial site, and what did the researchers find inside? We are about to explore the exciting recent discovery that has resolved ancient enigmas and represents a significant step forward in scientific exploration. The announcement of the discovery of Jesus' burial site came from the heart of Jerusalem, within the walls of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Upon inspecting the interior and feeling an eerie sense of awe, they found mortar under a stone slab. This slab is believed to mark the place where Jesus was laid after his death. The mortar dates back to the era of the Roman Emperor Constantine, lending support to historical accounts that have claimed this location to be Jesus' final resting place. The story takes us back to ancient times, focusing on Constantine, the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity. His story weaves through the discovery of what is believed to be the limestone burial site of Jesus, a figure deeply revered in the Christian faith. This significant find reportedly happened around 325 and 326 AD, aided by Constantine's mother, Helena. The narrative describes how the tomb, hidden under a temple dedicated to Venus, the Roman goddess, was revealed thanks to their guided mission. Motivated by a sacred mission, Constantine sent messengers to unveil this holy site. Their journey led them to Jerusalem in 325, aiming to find Jesus' burial place. According to legend, the group was led to an ancient Roman temple that had been standing for about 200 years. When they arrived at this historic landmark, the team led by Constantine's envoys was at a crucial phase of their quest. The ancient Roman temple,
So what is ClickUp? ClickUp is an all-in-one productivity software where you can manage everything and anything related to your work. Your documents, your chats, your whiteboards, your projects. The value of this, you don't have to buy 5 softwares to do this. You don't have to be hopping back and forth between multiple tabs, trying to find that email from a year ago. Instead, you can find everything in a matter of seconds, keeping your work and everything related to productivity organized in a single place.
Steeped in the depths of history, became the central focus of a significant archaeological journey. The temple faced an inevitable transformation in their quest to uncover the hallowed tomb. This edifice, a relic of bygone eras, was methodically dismantled piece by piece to reveal the hidden truths lying beneath its stone base. As each layer of earth and history was removed...
Yeah, I'm getting anxious, bro. I'm getting excited inside of my body to the point. Just get to the point. Like, I want to see what's going on actually, bro. Because I know there's a lot of evidence and stuff regarding Jesus, bro. A lot.
Moved. The excavation brought to light a burial site expertly carved into the hard natural limestone cave. The discovery of the tomb's interior was a moment of profound sacredness in the annals of history. The cave, once a simple part of the earth, was altered into a place of veneration. Its top part was removed to unveil the sacred area it housed. This significant act of revealing led to the creation of the edicule, a special structure built to guard and honor this holy place, encapsulating the profound essence of this spiritual find. This story, deeply rooted in the journey of Constantine and the dramatic uncovering of Jesus' tomb underneath the Roman temple, symbolizes the deep connections among historical events, religious beliefs, and the human pursuit of holy artifacts. It represents a chapter in the shared history of Christianity, intertwining the physical and spiritual realms into a narrative of deep meaning and importance. At the heart of this sacred tomb, believed by many to be the final resting place of Jesus Christ, stands a significant structure, the burial bed or shelf. According to long-standing traditions, this is the exact spot where the body of Jesus...
Why does Jesus get, like, it's in a tomb, bro? I've never seen, like, I say Muslim peoples get buried like that, bro, where it's like inside of a tomb or something like that.
Jesus, after his painful crucifixion, was gently placed. This key element of the tomb prompts deep reflection and represents the profound events that are central to Christian faith. When we explore the structural features of the tomb further, we notice similarities with the burial sites of wealthy Jews from the 1st century in Jerusalem. These graves, carved from the city's durable limestone caves, often included such shelves or niches. This similarity underlines the common burial customs of that period, reflecting a shared reverence for those who have passed away. The burial bed in Jesus'
Crazy,
tomb extends
bro.
beyond being just a part of the tomb's architecture. It stands as a potent
Wow.
symbol, intertwined with the spiritual narrative of Christianity, encapsulating the solemn moments following the crucifixion. This burial shelf serves as more than a mere resting place. It is a profound symbol of rest and reflection, echoing the sacred silence that followed the tumultuous events of Jesus' death. The old stones of a sacred place are beginning to tell their
Crazy,
secret
bro.
story,
What is going
piece by
on here
piece.
now?
When experts take a close look at the carvings in the limestone, they start to feel a deep connection with the long and varied history of the Christian religion. This connection grows stronger as they notice the layer of history that the marble covering on the tomb reveals. This marble layer, covering the place where someone was buried, is thought to have been carefully put in place no later than the year 1555. But the details of history might even
The amount of the amount of evidence the amount of research these people have done to be saying all this stuff is crazy, though.
trace this marble back to the middle of the 1300s. Stories from people who went on religious journeys long ago, stories that have been told and retold for many years, give us more information about this layer of history. They help us better understand the
Wow.
special religious importance of this place. Each cut in the
This is
marble, in
historic,
every shape of
bro.
the place where someone was buried, brings with it stories from hundreds of years. These details, which create a connection with the respect and devotion of many religious visitors and believers over the years, help to close the gap between the old times and today. The grave site, with its moving and significant characteristics, goes beyond just being a space. It turns into something much more meaningful, a place that holds the deep feelings and thoughts of many people from over the years, asking everyone who comes near to feel a part of a long-standing story written in stone. What did scientists discover after examining the pieces of mortar taken from what is believed to be Jesus' burial site? A group of scientists, led by the main scientific investigator, Antonia Moropoulou, took pieces of mortar from different parts of the structure covering the tomb to study them. What they discovered amazed everyone around the world. This mortar, a piece
What
of
is
the
it?
building's history, was carefully examined. The scientists collected samples from various parts inside the structure using the detailed method of radiocarbon dating. Their goal was to find out hidden truths about the age of the mortar. The recent unveiling of test results has shed fresh light on the construction timeline of the edicule, a crucial component of the revered structure. These findings suggest that the lower slab, an essential part of the foundation, was likely set
I've seen a lot of people go towards that thing and just kneel before it. That is crazy, bro.
in place around the middle of the 4th century. This detail adds a rich layer of historical significance to this sacred site. It's particularly exciting because it ties the construction to the time
Wow.
of Emperor Constantine, a key figure in history. The connection of the construction to Emperor Constantine brings a new depth to our understanding of the edicule. It suggests that this important structure may have been built following the instructions of one of the most influential rulers of the past. This possibility is especially intriguing for researchers and historians who are keen to piece together the mysterious past of this holy place.
These
The
people
time
are
frame
on
from the
it
middle
with
of the
this
4th century
research, bro,
provides a
and trying to
glimpse into an
put
era
it
long
together.
gone, linking the design changes and developments of the edicule directly to the history of the Roman Empire. These unexpected results have been a source of excitement for those deeply involved in the study of this significant religious site. The analysis of the lower slab of the edicule stands as proof of the ongoing search for historical accuracy. The mortar samples, which were once just part of the structure, now
But it looks like this video is very old. So this is old evidence that they are bringing up. There isn't very much new ones, bro, that people can go by.
reveal stories that deepen our comprehension of the sacred steps taken by Emperor Constantine and the architects of this revered site. In their investigation of the holy
Constantine,
mortar
bro.
samples from the edicule, scientists used a detailed method known as optically stimulated luminescence, or OSL. This technique acts like a window back in time, helping researchers figure out when the quartz particles in the mortar were last in the light. The importance of this method cannot be overstated, as it offers a precise way to uncover the timing of events in the past. The mortar samples were carefully examined in 2 different labs, each adding their own piece to the overall understanding of the timeline.
These
Through
people
the
are
use of
clever.
OSL, the scientists were able to delve into the story contained within the quartz particles. The history of when these particles were last lit up provides critical clues, giving researchers a clearer picture of when the mortar was formed and used in the building process. For centuries, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem has been a symbol of endurance, standing strong against the forces of time. This sacred place has experienced the harshness of history, including battles, fires, and natural disasters like earthquakes. Within its ancient walls, stories from many years are told, each one filled with its own set of challenges and hardships. The damage to the church was most severe around the year 1009, a time when it was nearly destroyed completely. This event, which happened almost 1,000 years ago, created a significant obstacle for today's scientists and
Yo,
historians trying to
1,000 years ago, that's even before your grandmas and your great-great-grandmas, bro. That is a long time to track back these type of evidence, bro.
find the exact location where Jesus was buried. The complete destruction of the church, a key site for Christian devotion, was a huge setback for those trying to uncover the secrets held within its holy boundaries. Following this massive destruction, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre was rebuilt with great effort and care. Yet even with its restoration, there remained a cloud of uncertainty among many modern-day researchers and scholars. They have been left wondering if the rebuilt church is truly located over the same sacred ground that was identified nearly 1,700 years ago by a group sent from Rome. These questions continue to be asked today, reflecting deep through the ages, as people today try to determine whether the current structure is an accurate reflection of the original holy site. Despite these doubts, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre stands as a powerful symbol of the unyielding spirit found within Jerusalem's holy places. It serves as a call to reflect and to ask questions about the intertwined stories that make up the history of faith and the ongoing search for truth. Inside the old, tall walls, hidden secrets and ancient stories come together, revealing truths.
Is it Christianity that's only getting like researched up like this much, bro? The amount of evidence there is about this faith on its own.
We never knew. In the middle of a detailed examination of pieces of mortar taken from the lower part of the cave's south wall, a story of the past started to unfold. Scientists figured out that these pieces of mortar were from the years 335 and 1570. This finding linked the building efforts from the time of the Romans to a known repair in the 16th century. These bits of old mortar, found within the structure of the edicule, showed the long history that had left its mark on this holy place. The south wall, without making a sound, shared clues of its
that's a
past.
holy
It
place,
showed
bro.
signs of being built during Roman times. This added more pieces to the story of how the edicule has changed over the years. Using advanced dating techniques, the detailed scientific look into the mortar helped reveal the history left behind by the different groups of people who built and fixed the place. One important discovery came when they looked at the mortar from the entrance of the tomb. This particular mortar was from the 11th century. This time matches an important event in the edicule's past, the careful rebuilding after it was destroyed in 1009. The work done in the 11th century.
And it's always important to go check, bro, like to go on excursions and stuff like that, to go check out your faith, bro, like go to the places where it originated from, bro, so you can have like a visual understanding as well, you see.
As seen in the aged mortar, showed the strong will of the people who aimed to keep this holy place standing. The deep dive into these old pieces of mortar did more than just put dates on events. It honored the skill and steadfast spirit of those who, through the ages, played a part in the ongoing renewal of the edicule. This examination not only mapped out the timeline of the building's history, but also highlighted the dedication and skill of generations of builders and restorers. Today, the tomb is a place of pilgrimage, attracting thousands of visitors every day. These visitors are from different parts of the world, coming to see this sacred site. The
Tourist
tomb is
attraction,
taken care of by a diverse group of priests from many different Christian groups. They all follow old and strict rules that have been in place since the time of the Ottoman Empire. Now let's explore the subject of Jesus' final resting place, beyond the well-known Church of the Holy Sepulchre. There are actually several other spots in Jerusalem that some people think might be the real place where Jesus was buried. Among these, there are 6 notable locations that stand out due to various historical, religious, and archaeological reasons. One such place is known as the Talpiot family tomb. This site is located around 5 kilometers south from Jerusalem's Old City. It came into the spotlight back in 1980 when it was first discovered. However, it became famous worldwide after the release of the 2007 documentary by the Discovery Channel called The Lost Tomb of Jesus, which was produced by James Cameron and directed by Simcha Jacobovici. This Talpiot tomb contained 10
Wait, so there was already content about this, bro. See, people are still trying to discover the undiscovered.
stone boxes known as ossuaries, which were used for burying bones. The names inscribed on these ossuaries were very familiar ones, like Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, stirring interest and debate among viewers and scholars alike. Particularly striking was one ossuary marked Mariamene, which the documentary suggested could refer to Mary Magdalene, hinting at a possible marital relationship with Jesus. Adding to the controversy, 2 of the boxes had names suggesting family ties. One reading Jude, son of Jesus, and another Jesus, son of Joseph. This led to speculation, fueled by the documentary, that Jesus and Mary Magdalene might have had a child named Judah. This hypothesis sparked widespread discussion and debate. However, many scholars and historians have cautioned against jumping to conclusions. They point out that the names Jesus, Joseph, and Mary were very common during the 1st century AD. Therefore, the appearance of these names on ossuaries in a single tomb might not be as unusual or significant as it seems at first glance. The documentary's creators, Cameron and Jacobovici, faced criticism from some experts who argued that they might have interpreted these common names too liberally, attaching more significance to them than was historically justified. People who believe the Talpiot tomb is significant argue that tests on the DNA found no mother-child relationship between the person named Jesus and the one named Mariamene. This lack of a maternal link, as suggested in the Discovery Channel documentary, is taken by some as proof that they were married instead. On the flip side, critics of this theory point out that there could still be a paternal connection, like if Mariamene were Jesus' daughter or granddaughter, which would challenge the marriage theory. James Tabor, an academic, supports the idea that the Talpiot tomb is the family burial site of Jesus of Nazareth. He points to another ossuary, famous for being associated with James, Jesus' supposed brother, as originally coming from this tomb. There's also chemical testing, supported financially by Simcha Jacobovici, a filmmaker.
These are just all in speculations what they are trying to do here, bro. Not the real deal, actually.
Which seems to link the James ossuary with those found in the Talpiot tomb through common chemical signatures typical of the soil from East Jerusalem. But these claims are met with skepticism due to the limited scope of the tests and because the James ossuary looks quite different from those found in the Talpiot tomb, which makes people question if it really came from there. A significant issue with the documentary is that many scholars who were interviewed later said their views were not accurately represented, leading to doubts about the film's credibility. Besides, there's a big cultural and geographical inconsistency that supporters of the Talpiot tomb theory haven't convincingly explained. Jesus' family was from Galilee, so it doesn't make much sense for them to have a family tomb in Jerusalem, a city some distance away. Jody Magnus, an archaeologist, points out that back in Jesus' time, it was typically the richer families who could afford rock-cut tombs and the practice of moving bones to ossuaries. Given that Jesus' family was from a simpler background in Galilee, they would more likely have used a normal grave, not a fancy tomb. Furthermore, the way names are presented on the ossuaries in the Talpiot tomb suggests they belong to people from Judea, not Galilee. In Judea, people were often identified by their first name and their father's name, whereas in Galilee, they were more likely to be identified by their first name and their hometown. This difference adds another layer of doubt, suggesting that the Talpiot tomb might not be related to Jesus and his family after all. These points of contention illustrate the complex puzzle surrounding the historical figure of Jesus and where he was buried, showing that there is still much to learn and many debates to be had. Beyond what we always believed, new stories and ideas are challenging us to see history in a different light. The site known as the Garden Tomb, which some people think might be where Jesus was buried, became famous back in 1883. A man named Charles Gordon promoted this idea, which is why some people also call it Gordon's Tomb. Many people find this place appealing because it's located in a quiet garden-like area, which brings peace and tranquility. This serene setting draws a lot of visitors, particularly evangelical Christians who believe they are visiting the actual place where Jesus was laid to rest. However, the methods used to identify the Garden Tomb as Jesus' burial site have been met with a lot of doubt and skepticism. One reason for this skepticism comes from the original ideas of Charles Gordon himself. He had a peculiar notion that the geography of Jerusalem was shaped like a human skeleton, with a particular hill, known as Skull Hill, representing the head. Additionally, the story of the Garden Tomb is complicated by instances of deception, such as the false claims made by Ron Wyatt, who said he found the Ark of the Covenant not far from there. These stories, while intriguing, have led many to question the authenticity of the site. Furthermore, archaeologists have not found any burial sites from the time of the Second Temple, which was the era when Jesus lived, near this garden. Gabriel Barkay, an archaeologist who has carefully examined the area around the Garden Tomb, has found that it dates back much further in history, to the Iron Age, around the 7th or 8th centuries BC. The design of the tomb is more consistent with those from the era of the First Temple, similar to other tombs found near the Basilica of St. Stephen. This finding contradicts the account in John chapter 19, verse 41 of the Bible, which describes the place where Jesus was buried as a new tomb, one that had never been used before. However, if the Garden Tomb was indeed from the Iron Age, it would have been around for over 600 years by the time of Jesus, making it far from new. Despite the initial appeal and the spiritual significance it holds for many, the historical and archaeological evidence does not support the Garden Tomb as the actual burial site of Jesus. The Tomb of the Shroud, nestled within the Kidron Valley, is one of several sites proposed as the final resting place of Jesus, but its historical credibility is widely discussed. This site has attracted attention largely due to its location near the Garden of Gethsemane, which is a significant area in the narratives of Jesus' last days. The connection of this tomb to Joseph of Arimathea, a figure from the New Testament who is said to have provided his
The way they explain things in the Bible and on movies is completely different, bro. Because today you have a visual thing to look at. In the Bible, the words, people can make up anything with the words, you see.
own tomb for Jesus' burial following the crucifixion adds to its intrigue. The tomb itself is a traditional rock-cut burial chamber, which was a common type of burial site in ancient Judea, adding to its historical appeal. The name Tomb of the Shroud is derived from the discovery of an ancient burial cloth found within, which has led some to believe that it could be directly connected to the biblical accounts of Jesus' burial. This has sparked interest and debate among scholars and religious followers alike. While some adhere to the tradition linking this tomb to Joseph of Arimathea, skeptics argue that insufficient archaeological evidence confirms such an association with Jesus Christ. Despite these debates, the tomb attracts numerous visitors each year, drawn by its religious importance and the enigma of its potential link to the events of Jesus' death and burial. The ongoing mystery contributes to the allure of the Tomb of the Shroud, making it an integral piece of the puzzle in the history and tradition of Jesus' purported burial sites. In addition to the Tomb of the Shroud, there is Dominus Flevit Church, another site imbued with historical and spiritual significance, though it is less commonly associated with Jesus' actual burial. Situated on the picturesque slopes of the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem, this church offers stunning views of the Old City. Dominus Flevit, which means the Lord wept in Latin, is built to commemorate the poignant moment when, according to Christian tradition, Jesus wept for the future of Jerusalem. The church's unique design, conceived by the Italian architect Antonio Barluzzi, is shaped like a teardrop, symbolizing the tears shed by Jesus. This symbolic architecture, along with the church's historical context and its scenic location, draws pilgrims and tourists who come to reflect on the life and teachings of Jesus. The Dominus Flevit Church serves as a poignant reminder of Jesus' empathy and sorrow for the world, making it a site of contemplation and spiritual significance for visitors tracing the footsteps of Jesus in Jerusalem. Right next to the Dominus Flevit Church, there's a special burial site carved into the rock that some old stories say belongs to Joseph of Arimathea. This church, while not as directly linked to Jesus' burial as the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, still holds its own spiritual importance on the Mount of Olives. This place is deeply tied to stories from the Bible. Even though it's not the most famous spot for Jesus' grave, the Dominus Flevit Church is still a touching spot, filled with a rich mix of history, building design, and stories from the time Jesus lived. Besides, there are two other special graves, the tomb of the Virgin Mary and the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, which are considered by some to be connected to Jesus. These are located in a valley called Kidron. The tomb of the Virgin Mary is thought to be where Jesus' mother was buried. A lot of people visiting the area feel this place is very important to Christian history. However, there's not much historical proof linking it directly to Mary. But the importance of this tomb comes from the respect people have for Mary and the many stories that are part of the big Christian story. Meanwhile, Joseph of Arimathea, who is talked about in the New Testament, is known for offering his own burial site for Jesus after he was crucified. As we go deeper into the mix of old stories and beliefs, we uncover surprising discoveries that make us question all our previous understandings. Joseph's burial spot is a big mystery. Some people say it's in the Kidron Valley. Others think it's somewhere totally different. This uncertainty makes the story of where this important person from the Bible was buried very interesting. There are many different stories and ideas about where his grave might be. This confusion makes the whole thing feel like a puzzle that people who follow the Christian faith, as well as historians, are trying to solve. The different locations suggested by various groups add to the excitement and mystery. People who believe in the stories of the Bible and those who study history find this puzzle fascinating. They're drawn into a larger story about their faith and the history of a time long ago. The search for Joseph's actual tomb is like a treasure hunt that brings together the past and what people believe in a special way. Then, in 2017, something big happened at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. This church is very special to many Christians because they believe it is where Jesus went through his final moments, was buried, and then came back to life. The church has been fixed up and changed many times over many years because it's so important to people. The big job in 2017 was to fix up the edicule, a small chapel inside the church where people believe Jesus was buried. This little chapel is really important to people who follow Christianity, and it needed some care to make sure it could stay standing and continue to be a place where people could come to remember and honor Jesus. The edicule was in pretty bad shape. It was built a long time ago in the early 1800s, and since then, it had started to fall apart a little bit. There were cracks in the marble and problems with the foundation that meant it wasn't as strong as it needed to be. Because this chapel is so important, a group of experts who know a lot about fixing old buildings and preserving history got together to fix it. They had to be very careful to make sure they didn't damage anything because this place means a lot to so many people. When they started to take apart the marble pieces to fix them, they found something amazing. There was a secret room inside the tomb that nobody knew was there. It had been hidden away for hundreds of years, waiting to be discovered. This secret room was like finding a hidden treasure in a place that was already full of stories and history. The discovery made the church even more special and interesting. It was like adding a new chapter to a very old book that many people love. This hidden chamber reminded everyone that there are still mysteries to be solved and new things to learn about places we thought we knew well. This incredible discovery left the archaeological community in awe and brought a fresh wave of excitement and mystery to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre's rich history. It turns out that the hidden chamber had been sealed up during an update to the edicule back in 1555.
I could have just told us in the beginning of the video.
Had forgotten
had to make a
Although
long
the
video
secret room
because of
didn't have any skeletons or big treasure troves,
Yeah,
its
I
very
understand, yes.
existence was proof of how the church has changed and grown over time, with so many stories buried within its sacred walls. Archaeologists and history buffs were thrilled about this find, as it highlighted the never-ending job of piecing together the puzzle of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. This place has seen so many years of worship and history changing right there. The true purpose and importance of this sealed-off room are still big questions for experts to chew on.
Sometimes I have to pause because of this flu, bro.
Giving them new mysteries to solve and reasons to keep digging into the past of this holy place. The uncovering of this hidden room was a striking and unforgettable moment in the ongoing saga of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. It reminded everyone that even in a place as old and as closely examined as this, there are still undiscovered stories lying in wait. This surprising discovery breathed new life into the study of the Church's long and layered history, and it sparked a renewed drive to dig deeper into its complex, intertwined past. Is this where Jesus was buried, hidden for years, or is there more to the story? Share your thoughts, like, and subscribe for more.
I think there's very much more, bro, to come. Yo, the flu has me, bro. The flu has me. There's much more to come to the story, bro. More discoveries, And I'll be here to check it out, bruh. Even if I have to watch separate videos on my own, I'm going to do so.